All right. So thanks to the folks that are down there delivering signatures. Jose, are you with us?
I am.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks so much for your flexibility and for joining today. So for folks who aren't aware, Fight for the Future worked with a group of U.S. veterans to organize a letter at vetsforthe.net. It was a letter from U.S. veterans and active duty service members about why restoring net neutrality is important to them. And Jose, I believe you were one of the signers of that letter and are here to talk to us a little bit about why this matters to you and then read some comments from other veterans, right?
Sure. Yeah, I can do that, Evan.
Awesome. Well, why don't we?
So, uh,
Yeah. It's the delay.
okay. Yes, there's a bit of a delay. I want to say that net neutrality is important to me because I believe that the internet is a piece of critical infrastructure, the same way that our roads are, access to food and healthcare are. I mean, this is access to information is a vital part of living in a free society. And I don't believe that the internet should be divvied up and privatized for the sake of profit when it's uh, such a vital tool and such a vital space for us 21st century beings.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. And it really is. I think often this debate has been framed as like, oh, this is about like how fast your Netflix videos load. But it's really about a lot more than that, right? I mean, this kind of the internet at this point is so integrated into our society that policies that undermine the openness of the internet have a real impact on democracy more broadly.
Absolutely, and I have experience working with the more well, as my experience in the Army, I was a signals intelligence analyst in the Army. I served for 6 years. And afterwards, I've worked in various intelligence adjacent positions. So right now, I work as an instructional designer at a cybersecurity company. So the people that I work with, they're helping corporations and governments keep their network secure, keep their privacy safe. So I understand all of this, and it would affect the security of the internet as well to privatize it.
And I think that's so important. Again, that's so different than the narrative that we're hearing. I mean, outside of Washington, D.C., this is not a partisan issue at all. Voters from across the political spectrum, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, overwhelmingly want net neutrality protections restored. But you would think, I mean, Republicans, particularly historically, have at least in word, been largely pro national security. Made that a major talking point of their campaigns. And I mean, you're saying that this is actually a security issue. So, do you have a message for Republican senators who care about this and who unfortunately so far have not yet come on board for supporting net neutrality in the Senate?
I mean, my message more so than just to Republican legislators, I guess, is to the entirety of Congress. I mean, stop paying attention to these lobbying groups. Money doesn't. I mean, money unfortunately is the way that it all works. I live in Alexandria, where there are so many lobbying firms here. But anyway, yeah, pay attention to your constituents. Your constituents want a free internet. Voters want uh, free access to information. They don't want to have to pay extra money to access video or social media or just, I mean, so much of even government services are on the internet. So it's very important that we keep it open, we keep it accessible to everybody, because I mean, no amount of profit is going to is a. I'm sorry, I'm trailing off. I've started ranting.
No, I couldn't agree more. And I mean, that point you made about access is really important. I remember a number of the comments that came in through the U.S. Veterans letter that we organized specifically dealt with needing access to the internet in order to access VA benefits and things like that, or in order to keep in touch with friends and family overseas. Lots of different ways that this is impacting people. Jose, I believe we sent you over some of those comments that were submitted through the letter. Are you willing to read out a few of them that were submitted?
Absolutely, yes, I can. The first one is from Anthony Semanik, who served in the Army. They wrote, "I am an Army Signal Corps veteran who worked at a Detroit nonprofit to provide computer training, technology, and connectivity to the underserved of our community in an effort to bridge the digital divide. The loss of net neutrality crippled those efforts to provide low-income folks the access to very vital digital communication. Next comment is from William Lingenfelter, also from the Army. They wrote, I fought for an America of individual choice, not corporate monopoly. Restore net neutrality. The other one we have here is from Tom Bernard, who wrote, I am without words to express how betrayed I feel. The country I love so much and would give my life defending is handling our digital freedom to the service providers. Our only voice against their cable monopolies was cutting the cord. When that finally started to make a difference, they came for the internet, and the FCC gave it to them. I just received a letter this morning from my service provider informing me that they would be downgrading my video streaming quality to SD despite my unlimited data. However, I could upgrade to HD for an additional monthly charge. This is the internet being held hostage. I'm glad to see that veterans are talking about access to information as well. It's more so than like the first comment was about access to the internet for low income folks. And I think people see it. I think people see that the corporations have bought out our government, and they are, and this is not why people serve. This is people enlist. I mean, my own brother is he's in the Marine Corps right now, serving. But people serve because they feel that whether it's a patriotic duty to their country or because they want to give something back, and seeing um, basic needs being divided up and sold to the highest bidder, denying people access to vital things because they want to make profit off of it. I think that's something that everybody shares, but I think veterans feel it even more because we put our lives on the line thinking that we're doing so to serve our country, and then it turns out that, or many people come out of the military feeling that maybe they didn't serve their country, maybe they served corporate interests.
Yeah, that's such I think it's so important to just like highlight that because again, this is something that people are really passionate about. And here we are a year after the repeal going into effect. We're starting to see some of the negative impacts of this, but it's really just the tip of the iceberg. And it can definitely get a lot worse. So Jose, we've got some more guests coming up, but maybe one quick thing to leave with is what would you encourage folks to do if they care about this and want to make their voices heard?
Just do whatever you can. I keep my representatives on speed dial, and every time that I have an issue, I say, call Mark Warner at home, call Tim Kaine, call and I just have them their home office and their DC office and their local office, and I call both the offices. I call all six of those numbers. Takes me like 15 minutes. Leave my comment with them. I make sure to talk to my friends about it. I make sure to stay studied up on the issue. Any opportunity that I have to, whether it's to sign something, to protest, to bring it up as an issue, just do so. Just keep informing yourself. Keep speaking out.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Jose, for joining us and reading off some of those comments. I believe more than 5,000 U.S. veterans signed on to that Vets for the .net open letter. And it's really great to have some of their voices as part of this conversation. So thanks so much for being here and for joining. And I couldn't agree more. Contacting your senators right now is the most important thing you can do. You can do that at battleforthenet.com/call, or you can submit a comment at epiclivestream.com. And we will deliver it to your lawmakers and potentially read it on the air as part of this stream. So thanks again, Jose, for joining us. Hopefully we'll connect again soon.